Today we are doing lesson 11.10. Describe equal parts. The essential question is, how do you find a half of, a third of, or a fourth of a whole? Listen and draw. Find shapes that show fourths and color them green. Well, I know if it's going to show fourths that there need to be four equal parts. So if I go to this square, this has 4 equal parts. I'm going to color that green. This does not have 4 equal parts. This has 4 equal parts. There are no other shapes that show 4 equal parts. The next part tells us to find shapes that show halves and color them red. I know that halves means that there are 2 equal parts. So right here at the beginning I have this circle that shows 2 equal parts. This one has 3, this one has 3, and this one has 3, but this one has 2 equal parts. This shows halves. So I'm going to color that in red. And for our math talk, it says, describe how the thirds in the unshaded shapes compare to each other. Well, in this rectangle, the thirds are the largest because the shape is the largest. This one, they're a little bit smaller. This rectangle is smaller than this one. And then in the square, I'm sorry, in the circle, it's kind of an odd shape the way that they divide it, but there are 3 equal parts. So we're going to turn our paper over and go to page 760 for model and draw. These are some ways to show and describe an equal part of a whole. In our little oval out here, it says 1 of 4 equal parts is called a quarter of that shape. A quarter. 2 equal parts, a half of the shape is green. So there are 2 equal parts, so half of it is colored in green because we call those parts halves. This rectangle is divided into 3 equal parts. A third of the shape is green because each one of those are thirds. And with 4 equal parts, a fourth of the shape is green because there are 4 equal parts. And remember up here they also told us that we could call it a quarter of that shape. On the bottom, share and show, it says to draw to show thirds and color a third of the shape. So on this circle they have already divided that. I'm just tracing over it. So if we color a third, we will just color in one of those. And I'm using my green crayon. You could use any color that you like. For this square, I'm going to divide it into 3 equal parts and then color one of those. Remember, when you're dividing it into equal parts, you're just doing the best that you can, but if it really doesn't look equal, you should erase and try it again. For this one, I'm going to go across, and I'm going to color one of those. On the bottom row, they tell us to draw to show fourths. So I'm going to divide this shape into half first to get 2 equal parts, and then I'm going to divide those. And I'm going to color in 1. So I have 4 equal parts. And for my circle, I'm going to divide that into half. And then go across and color in 1 out of the 4, 1/4. And for my square, I'm going to divide it in half first. Then I'm going to go across this way and color in 1 of the 4. We're going to go to the next page, which is page 761. On your own. So you are going to do this on your own. I am just going to explain it to you. So you're on this page, you're doing exactly what we just did. It tells us, or tells you, how many parts to divide it into, and then you're going to color one part of that. So the top row says to draw to show halves, so you will divide these into halves and then color a half of that shape. For this row, it says draw to show thirds, so you will divide each one of those shapes into thirds and color one part of that. And on the bottom row, it says draw to show fourths and color a fourth of that shape. Turn your paper over. Problem solving. It says 2 posters are the same size. So they've given you 2 posters here that are the same size. A third of one poster is red and a fourth of the other poster is blue. So I'm going to divide this poster into half and then divide those into half. So I have 4 equal parts, and that needs to be blue. One of those needs to be blue. Then I'm going to divide the next poster into 3 equal parts. So each one of those is a third, and I'm going to color one of those red. So the question that they want you to answer, is the red part or the blue part larger? Which one of these is larger? The red part or the blue part? So you need to write that here. And then it says to explain, why did you say that that was larger? And on the last one, number 17, it says draw to show halves, thirds, and fourths. Color a half of, a third of, or a fourth of a shape. So let's just do them in order. So for this circle, 2 halves. And for this rectangle, do thirds. And for this square, do fourths. So divide them into those sections and then color one of each of them. And when you have completed that, your assignment will be done.